rest of the stuff on later.
All right, you can go ahead and retake your seat there on the witness stand
Yes,
and
sir.
continue with your direct testimony.
I saw myself being followed by Mr. Dunlap, but I did not recognize who the officer was because I could not see the officer. I could not see all I could see was a cruiser. And when I drove by right here, and I looked right here at this window, I could not see who was behind the wheel, male or female. I could see nobody. All I could see was a cruiser. So once again, I say he saw nothing. I continued on, and then the rest of the video pretty much documents pretty much everything else. But anyway, I got pulled over. I had no reason. I had no idea why, and because I've been harassed by police before, and during my years as a professional truck driver, I've had a commercial driver's license for about 32 years. I have been hassled by police I don't know how many times to move on when my times have expired where I can no longer drive. There comes a time you get sick of it. And then the video explains, and it's also like you saw me saying in the one, I want it all. I want everything. I want everything. I was adamant as to why I was being pulled over. I had no idea why. What did I do? And yes, I do know that badge numbers and that are on citations. But however, I wasn't expecting no citation. That's why I asked, I want your badge number and everything right now. And he stated, my number is 911. I consider that to be harassing. We pretty much went through the rest of the thing. I got 2 citations, and then I went to the BMV afterwards in Bataskala to take care of some BMV work, as I have numerous vehicles. I'll also make a statement to the fact, although I don't have to say, I drive for fun, I drive for recreation, I drive to get away from stuff. I drive more than practically anybody you'll ever know or meet, besides just simply going to work. But right now, I'm retired, I'm on Social Security, but I still drive because I like to.
Is that everything?
I pretty much don't know what else to say. Let me stand up a bit. I think I got this too tight. Sorry.
Okay, you can retake your seat because the prosecutor may have some questions for you. Ms. Davison?
Thank you. Mr. Bowman, Deputy Dunlap did provide you with his name and badge number shortly after he pulled you over. Isn't that true?
No.
You didn't hear the video that he gave you his name and badge number when you got out of the car?
Can you, I did not.
I just played it for the deputy.
Okay, if you'll replay to refresh my memory, I also do have memory problems. If he did say it, then okay. I'm 63 years old, and I do forget stuff.
What do you have on your side?
What do I have
OC?
on my side?
Pepper spray, flashlight, what is it?
Yeah, I got pepper spray, I got flashlight. What'd you pull
Do
me
you have
over
guns?
for? No. What'd you pull
Okay,
me over for?
step out.
What'd you pull me over for? I demand. I want your
Step
name
out and get your
number,
license.
Mr. T.
Dunlap, badge number
I
19.
want everything. 9.
Give me your license.
Did you hear him give you that information?
I just heard number 9.
T. Dunlap, number 19.
Okay.
Okay, so he did give that to you. Is that correct?
As per the video, yes, but not
Okay.
immediately upon being asked.
What did you scream out of your car window when you were asking him, when you were first pulled over, what were you screaming out of the car window, to which he responded 911?
Oh, I want your I want your name and number now.
Okay, and when you were pulled over, why did you start throwing your arms out of the car?
I'm like, what, yeah, I threw my left arm out the window, because I'm like, why is this, what did I do? I didn't do nothing.
Okay, and then, the officer, Deputy Dunlap started to explain to you about your registration, the colors of your car and what the BMV had, they were different, yellow and blue. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you get that fixed when you went to the BMV?
No. This was I went to the BMV last week on that. No, I had a registration thing to take care of in Pataskala, and that was my priority.
Oh, okay, so you didn't change the color on your
No.
registration? Okay. And, Mr. Bowman, how do you know you had your seatbelt on?
Because I put it on. I put it on all the way back in Columbus, and I'm traveling out of town and in a very small car.
Okay. And you remember putting it on?
Yes.
Okay. Does your car, I know it's a 1990, does it make any sounds or anything if you don't wear your seatbelt? The audible sound is
long gone.
Okay. So if you didn't have it on, you wouldn't hear any automatic sounds, dinging, beeping, anything like that?
No.
Okay. I have nothing further.
Now, based upon the questions that she asked you, do you want to add anything to your testimony?
No, pardon me a bit. For some reason, I don't know why I'm having a small stomach ache. I have no idea.
Would you like to take a short break?
No, I'd really like to kind of get this done, maybe.
Okay, well, go ahead and collect what you brought up with you and just retake your place at the table. And you indicated earlier you don't have any other witnesses, correct?
Correct.
And so do you rest your case, sir?
Yes, okay.
All right. Did the state wish to present any testimony or evidence in rebuttal?
No, thank you.
Did the state wish to make any argument?
We would rest on the evidence
Okay.
presented.
You get to make what's called a closing argument, Mr. Bowman. Closing argument is a party's opportunity to comment on the evidence that's been introduced during the trial and what they believe, how that should be interpreted. So, for instance, if the state had elected to present a closing argument, they would have talked about how they felt that all the evidence points to your guilt. You have the opportunity, but not the obligation, to make an argument as to why you feel that the evidence is not sufficient to sustain a conviction, but you do have to confine yourself to the testimony that we've heard here today, as well as to the video that we watched. So you're not required to make the argument if you don't want to. Is there anything you want to say before I render a verdict here today?
I just basically want to say that I don't feel that the prosecution has met its burden of prosecution has not met its obligation to meet the burden of proof.
Are you sure you're okay? We can
Got
call
some water, maybe.
Certainly.
Maybe. I'm sorry.
That's-
Water.
I want to make sure that
Room
you're all right.
temperature, not ice cold. And I'm just basically going about my business, but yeah, a little bit more about me. I am a military veteran from 1980 to 91 and served 2 tours of combat. Grenada and a Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Here's my military ID with my rank of sergeant in that, and I was also responsible for troops in that. I'm not a bad person all around or know nothing. But I went about my thing, going out drive. I went to Pataskala BMV to settle my registration thing. I went to south end of Columbus last week to the BMV out there, and when I told them about the registration being yellow, the clerk said that I was their 3rd customer. But she said, do you wish to change it? And I go like, well, how did it get to be yellow to begin with? Goes, do you have your title with you? And I'm like, no. Goes, well, you need to bring your title with you. And I'm like, why do I need to bring the title? I'm the owner, here's my license. Goes, okay, let me get supervisor. Supervisor then said that, we can do this today, but there'll be a $6 fee. And I'm like, I gotta pay $6 for you to correct your mistake?
Anything you want to say specific to the citation being issued? Or the facts that we've heard, the evidence that's been presented?
I think that this case basically should not have happened. It shouldn't have happened at all. Dunlop got behind me immediately upon me going by. Immediately. That's Dukes of Hazzard style. Dukes of Hazzard style, as I'll call it. And I'm being
Let
followed.
me point out that you're lucky that the court is old enough to remember that show, because there are probably some people in this room who aren't. But continue, please.
Well, I'm like, okay, you know, and I'm now being followed and the video did show me change lanes twice right there, and so that I wouldn't be behind him, or I wouldn't be in front of him, and plus he was on me very, very, very close, following way too close. But then I got pulled over, and because of, as I stated, what did I do? I was mad. I was hostile. I'll admit it. And I even stated that when I was here last time. I shouldn't be here. I didn't do anything else further. I didn't go up and punch him in the face or none of that. Normally I'm the type of guy who settles stuff with my fists, and I don't need guns to do it.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Bowman. Ms. Davison, because the state has the burden of proof, they get what's called a rebuttal argument if they want to make it. Any argument in rebuttal?
Just, Your Honor, that Deputy Dunlap is definitely not Roscoe Pico training. There was no Dukes of Hazzard getting on Mr. Bowman. He can follow any car anytime he wants. The video was proof that he wasn't following up on his bumper, he wasn't tailgating him. So I think Mr. Bowman's take on the way that Deputy Dunlap followed him was not accurate. Thank you.
Okay. Couple things that I noticed, and it's unfortunate that the video, that still shot wasn't still up there, but the court notes that the position of the defendant's vehicle, the rear window would have been about the same angle to the sun as his passenger window would have been as he was passing in front of the deputy. And I didn't see any glare from the sunshine there, and it definitely didn't look like there was any tint. So, you know, there's conflicting testimony. Deputy Dunlap says, this is what I saw, this is why I pulled him over, and this is what happened. Then we have Mr. Bowman, equally as fervent in his belief and contention that he in fact was wearing a seatbelt. You know, the court has to make a judgment call. I find that the defendant, or that the deputy's testimony is credible, that he was able to discern and see that the defendant didn't have his belt on, and for that reason I'm going to find that the state has met its burden and enter guilty finding. Now, in a moment, after we handle the sentencing matter as far as me imposing a fine, I'm going to explain to you how you can appeal my decision, both finding you guilty as well as whatever sentence I impose. So, as it relates solely to sentencing, not arguing with me about guilt or innocence, because I know you disagree with me there, but as it relates to the sentence itself, is there anything you want to say?
No.
All right. Ms. Davison, did the state wish to be heard in that regard?
No, thank you.
This water didn't help out at all.
Well, we're going to get you on your way here momentarily, okay? I'm going to go ahead and impose a fine of $30. I'll order the defendant pay the court costs. Now, as I mentioned, Mr. Bowman, you have a right to appeal my verdict and the sentence. You have a right to have a notice of appeal filed within 30 days of today's date. You have a right to pay for a transcript of our proceedings today, which is required to pursue an appeal. And you have the right to retain counsel of your choosing, but for the reasons I mentioned earlier at the beginning, you're not eligible to ask the court to provide that for free. So, do you have any other questions as to your sentence or your rights to appeal?
No, but if I choose to pay fine and costs, what is the total?
They're going to give you that down in the clerk's office. I don't know what it is right now. They'll have to calculate that. Any other questions?
No.
All right, anything further, Ms. Davison?
I think you're-
Very well, court's going to stand in recess.
All right.
If you are in medical distress, let